Hello everybody, Westbury White Horse, July the 30th, 2014. I got there on the morning and I wasn't going to rig. It didn't look like it was going to be much. It looked like it was going to be one of these days without any thermal. But Nick turned up and took off on his rigid wing. So I wasn't long behind him. I sat on the ground, felt the front and thought it's time to go. Put me glider above my head. It seemed like it was blowing lovely. It was at the time, but I got clipped in. Brought the 20-30 yards forward. By now I'd normally be trying to take off, but the wind had dropped to a low. Literally nothing. A few paragliders sat over to the right hand side. I shouted out to them, what have I picked a lot to come forward in or what? And they said, yeah, it's died of death. So I waited and I thought, well, I said to them, I can't hang about here long. I either got to be in the air or the glider down on the ground. So I thought, well, low. I thought there was a slight breeze, but what there was coming from the west. And me streamer on the front of me kite was blowing right across. And I thought, oh no, here we go, going to have to take off on a pimple. But then I thought, no. Something's starting to happen. Go for it. So I just got back under the wing and went for it. Well, I will in a minute. It's the trouble with making these videos and then having the soundtrack. You've got to remember at what point you wanted to say what. Okay, so stirrup on. I'm getting used to the stirrup with daps now because the stirrup's made for boots really, the size of it. But also learnt I need the harness pulled up tight into me crutch for comfort. I took off, it was a lull, but the little bit of breeze that was there, it was going up for dead sure, because as you'll see, I did a quick beat along the ridge, turned around, went back along the ridge, and I was gaining height. So now at this point, now I'm happy. I now know I can stay up. But it's quite smooth. At first I thought, oh, this is going to be nice. But at this point there was no, well, later in the flight it got so punchy I couldn't believe it. But good fun. That's it. Settled down in that harness. I've learnt now that if the harness is right down in my crutch, it's comfier on my shoulders. But it was small blobs of thermal coming through. You'd be up 1 minute, down the next. Yeah, it was light on takeoff, but as I say, it did get better. Nick had already was in the air above me by now, and he'd already hit thermals and climbed out about 4 times. But each time they were so small, you couldn't get forward. So it took him 4 or 5 thermals to climb out. He eventually did get up near cloud base, but said he used 4 thermals to get there. That's how punchy, and nothing was taking her the whole way. It was so rough, I have never known anything like it. It was fantastic really. When I say rough, it wasn't so much side to side. I suppose all the side to side was not much more than normal, but it was side to side and dropping and lifting. I can't explain it. It was fantastic really. But look, 1 minute you was on a little thermal and you get a bit of height, then you turn around, you go into the bowl, or I would, so I've got no choice. And as fast as it'd pick you up and climb you up that few hundred feet, it'd drop you back down again. Good fun, all good fun. There you go, nice and rough, lovely stuff. This old glider can handle it though. I was joking with the guys, you know, I don't know if you'll hear it on the end, but when I landed on the front, and I said to them, there you are, that's what it's like. The way to go. Paragliders with tubes in. We all laughed. But I say laughed that my glider's not. Some of the paragliders have done such better performance than my old hang glider. I think the glide angle on these were said to be something like 8 or 9. But in theory you've only got to be into wind pulling on, trying to get forward, and you swear black and blue it's more like 2. No, I think it's probably 7. Great fun to fly though. Never down this glider, I love it. I've just put new uprights on the Calypso I've done up. She's got 2 new uprights fitted on her today. And the one that had a pot rivet in it, everybody kept saying to me, don't worry, the guy at the school's probably put a sleeve inside and pot riveted in place. Well, I thought to myself, why would you want to put a sleeve inside an upright unless it's been bent? And after I took it off this morning, I looked inside, there was no sleeve, just a pot rivet. Yeah, at times you'd be up 1 minute, low the next. Yeah, it seemed alright, but in the end my wrist was really starting to kill me. It was 20 minutes of sheer rough air. That's all you can say. But it was hard rough air as well. My right wing, sorry, keeps getting to the point where it's trying to go up and I can't hold it. I just can't bring it back down. So I'm wondering now if I had a heavy landing the other week, whether I've done something to tunings. Watching this video now, I seem to be favouring over onto my left wrist the damn sight more than the right. So I'm wondering if the glider's not flying as good as it should be. But my left wrist is killing me by the time this flight was over. As I say now, at one point, I don't know if I captured it on here, I got really low. I went round and I went down above the tree, the big tree I was going at, and I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to turn out soon, I'm going to hit the big tree. But I got back up. It's all good fun really, I was amazed. I know for sure after, the guys on the top told me they enjoyed it. It was very entertaining, they said. It was a fantastic flight, I'd do it again. But for the rest of the day I wasn't going to fly because there was no way I could use the thermal that was being given me. It was too lumpy and bumpy, and when I did get up to move to anything else, I was just dropping. Nick did well. Nick flies fantastic on his machine though. But this is good fun flying, I really enjoyed it. I eventually got to the point where I started thinking, well, this is killing me, my wrist, I'm going to have to get in on top. And I thought, well, it might go off and get a bit better later on, so I'm going to try and land on the front. Because if I land at the back, I never seem to carry the glider forward again, it's my day over. So, same as always, I've done a few beats. I'm not sure if this is trying to work out my landing or not. But when I land on the front, thank God there ain't many people about on Wednesday. There was hardly anyone about. There was only about 5 paraglider pilots turned up and 2 hang glider pilots. There was a foreign chap there. I couldn't really talk much to him. He didn't really understand a lot of everything. He did, but I talk very fast, so his voice seemed to understand me better. But I went round and round the bowl a few times trying to work out my approach. And I thought, I'm not going to go in and have a nasty landing again, but there's nothing in my way. But when you go in to land, when you go in and land on the front, from deciding to go in and going in, it's so quick to be on the ground. But you must be sure that in that next 30 seconds everything's going to be right. So I went round and round the bowl a few times trying to work it out. A couple of times I gained height. I think that was one of the times then. So instead of going in, I thought, oh hang on, something's going to happen again. You play with it a bit longer. But no, nothing happened. Just hang on in there. Couple of the thermals, I actually had to, they were so punchy, I didn't like doing the S-turns in them, so I actually did 360s in them. But it was too rough to banker right up and push out hard, so I was going around the outside of them or coming out the front of them. And when you come out the front of them, you drop, talk about over the falls. But funny enough, it wasn't like over the falls, it was your whole glider would drop flat. It wasn't like a dive like you'd expect when people say over the falls. Sorry about my voice there, I got my voice is on one of his bad days today. But as you can see, the old glider might be an old thing, something like a Cherokee, the Skyhook. It's really nice to fly. Like I was saying, I just put 2 new uprights on the clips so I'd done up. So all I'm left to do now is test fly her, but it's getting to the point where it's not coming on for the sand dune, so I'm just going to have to take off at Westbury with her one day. She was flying alright when I stripped her and put all the nuts and bolts and that on her, so she should be okay now. But this old glider, as I say, I trust her with my life. Twice on this flight I actually had the tips drop so hard that they literally felt that it was stalled. They because I do fly everywhere on the bar position near the stall, but a couple of times the tips just dropped literally as if they were stalled, and I had to pull on and go into a dive to get out of it. But the old glider does it every time. And even with all this turbulence, I haven't once, on the old cloud base many years ago, I was forever hearing the cell collapse and bang and inflate. I've never had that happen on this glider, and I've flown some rough air on this old bird. You know, you see what I mean? You're sapping around thinking, I'll get in for a landing, then you get a bit of height, but like I say, eventually it did feel right, and even then though, I don't think, at this point now, I was saying, oh, this is nice, I'll stay up here for a bit. But as fast as you think, this is nice, look at me sinking there. As fast as you're going up, my old bird could sink like a brick. So I turned around and said, now I'm sinking too much, I'm going in for a landing. And once I go over the back out of lift, then I sink. If you was to count that landing in, I think from the minute I turned off the ridge, you could say 30 seconds, or 3/4 of a minute, and I'm on the ground. I was a bit gutted really. I was aiming for my tea bottle where my glider was rigged, but I was about 20 foot short of it. So to get me cup of tea, I got a hike forward. Yeah, drat. 20 foot short of my tea bottle and take off. There she is, cup of tea coming up. But I don't know if you noticed then, when I come in to land, there was nobody about. Yeah, the guys come over, the 3 paragliders were there, and said, well, that was entertaining, very entertaining. I thought, yeah, tell me about it. But it was good fun, it was safe. Just a shame I couldn't climb out. Yeah, I said, joking, look, this is the way to go. Paraglider with tubes in, definitely the way to go. They had a laugh. It went beautiful on the evening, but there was nobody there, so I couldn't fly. Never mind, all good fun. Cheers, petethewrist out for now. Hope you enjoyed.